Welcome to Spotlight, shining a light on the ideas, culture, and people of the Spartan community.
Hello and welcome to MSU Spotlight. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski. Today we'll be talking about the stock seat equestrian team here at Michigan State University. I'm here with our first guest, Taylor Fabus. Taylor is an MSU alumni and coach of the MSU Equestrian team. Taylor also runs a horse boarding and lesson facility out of her farm, Fabus Farms. Our second guest joining us today is Samantha Childs, a sophomore here at MSU who joined the equestrian team this year. Sam is an animal science major with a pre-vet focus. Welcome, thank you for joining me. Taylor, could you explain who the MSU stock seat equestrian team is and kind of what they do?
Sure, I'd love to. So the MSU stock seat equestrian team is a club sport here at Michigan State University. They compete under IHSA, or Intercollegiate Horse Show Association. It's a national association, so from universities all around the nation have these clubs, and we compete with them, and it's a lot of fun.
So Samantha, what made you want to join this equestrian team?
Actually, it's a bit of a crazy story. I've always had a love for horses since I've been little, and only rode one once before joining the team this year, and my friend told me just to go to the meeting and to see what it's all about. So I did, and upon telling Coach Taylor that I had only rode a horse once, she was ecstatic because she could train me and I had no bad habits yet, and I was a blank slate to start with.
That's actually really inspirational. Taylor, what brought you to become the coach of the equestrian team?
So I have been around horses my entire life, and I actually have spent my entire adult career here at Michigan State University in the animal science department. I left that position at the end of 2021, and this opportunity presented itself, and it was perfect. It's a way for me to stay at home and build my own business, but still be connected with the university and students.
That's fantastic. Honestly, we love to see strong women that are building these little empires of their own. Samantha, you take lessons at Taylor's farm. What is it like and what do you find most valuable about those experiences?
The lessons are truly amazing, considering I've had no prior knowledge before this. I show up and Taylor provides the horse, the tack, and the equipment, and the expertise on how to ride, and she just coaches us through proper form and how to get the horse to show properly and look square or round. Yeah. You want round? Yeah.
So Samantha, being that this is your first year on the team, did you have any experience with other horses? I know you said you had only ridden one, but was that the only experience?
That was my only experience. My best friend Sam took us on a trip up north, and her dad offered for us to go on a horseback riding tour of Mackinac Island, and they put you on a horse and a guide takes you through the trails, and that was my first experience riding a horse.
Wow. So really starting from
scratch,
zero.
Yeah.
Wow. So Taylor, you coach this equestrian team. How and what does the equestrian team compete?
So we're actually pretty fortunate that our region of IHSA is all within Michigan. So we don't have to travel too far to our competitions, at least within the normal season. Once it gets postseason, we do have to do some more travel. But so we compete throughout Michigan. We at the MSU Pavilion, one of our meets is, but also at Albion University, or Albion College, excuse me. Up in Midland, we also competed. Those were the three venues that we were at this year in Michigan.
Wow, this year alone. Samantha, what kind of awards have you won while competing for the equestrian team?
This year I've been fortunate enough to place every single time I've shown, and the awards are ribbons. Each ribbon placing is a different color, first place being blue, and at our last show at the MSU Pavilion, I placed first on a pony named Dolly.
Wow, congratulations. Stay tuned and we'll be right back to our discussion about the equestrian team right after this quick break.
What makes a Spartan a Spartan? The relentless drive to turn question marks into exclamation points. Believing that we are strong as one, but extraordinary together. And it's our impact that matters most. What makes a Spartan is what's inside, the commitment to something bigger. Because the world never stops asking, who will? Spartans will.
We're back in Studio E with our guest, Taylor Fabus, a Michigan State alumni, instructor, and coach of the Michigan State Stock C Equestrian team. And Samantha Childs, a sophomore studying animal science at Michigan State, and a first-year member of the equestrian team. Before we jump back into the conversation, let's get a mic'd up sneak peek at what it looks like to be an equestrian team member taking lessons at Coach Taylor's lesson and boarding facility.
Welcome to my crib, my coach's crib.
Oh my goodness, I hear you ruminating. That's my butt.
Oh. Look at how much hair is coming off of him. Oh my goodness. Are you gonna be rude? Yeah. Don't be rude. So you can tell a horse is angry when they pin their ears back at you. So Pete is currently angry at me. Oh, good boy, Peter. Yes. We're doing so good. We're walking. Just a walking. Oh, this is a very nice trot. Tuck, tuck, tuck.
Outside spur. Lift up. I'm gonna chase you for a minute.
Okay.
You're fine. Go, Pete. Take him. Take him. Take him. Hand down. Hand down. Big hit. Big hit. Big hit. Both feet. Hand down. Doing it.
Yay!
Go, thinking heel.
I love you. I'm gonna leave now. Okay? Yep, that's it. Goodbye. This has been the end of our meeting today. No, you gotta stay out there.
Wow, that really gave insight into what it's like to practice riding for the equestrian team. Taylor, how many animals do you care for at your farm?
Too many. So no, we do have quite a few animals. So we have about 20 horses. We have a boarding facility. So most of those horses are not mine. People actually pay us to care for their animals because not everybody can have a barn behind their house. But also my kiddos, I have 3 children of my own. They are doing 4-H for the first time this year. So we have some calves and we just got some pigs this week. And of course, you have to have a couple barn cats and dogs. So it's our responsibility to take care of those every single day. I didn't grow up on a farm. I didn't grow up in a city necessarily, but I didn't grow up on a farm. So for someone that hasn't experienced that and taking care of the animals every single day, no matter if it's a holiday or a regular Wednesday, it is really overwhelming. But that's what we do. Every day we take care of them.
So this is your first like farm. So how do you learn? Like, is there a book? Is there online tutorials, or are you just winging it?
I would say I'm fortunate. I do have my bachelor's and master's in animal science. I grew up around people that had farms, my grandparents and my parents. But my husband has raised a farmer. We're still farmers. So we say often that we are a really good team. So I bring the horse knowledge and the people skills and the marketing, and then he brings everything else to fill in all of the gaps that can run a facility and run a farm. So we make a pretty darn good team.
Well, Samantha, with all of Taylor's experience, do you wish that you would have joined the team a little sooner?
I sure do. I wish this opportunity would have presented itself my freshman year, but in lieu of COVID and everything, I just was not that outgoing to see what was available. But now knowing what the equestrian team is and what it has to offer, I wish I would have joined sooner or gotten lessons before coming to college, Yeah.
Well, we'll be right back to continue this conversation after this short break. Stay tuned to hear more about our guests and their experience through the Stock C Equestrian team. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski, and I'm here with our guest, Taylor Fabus, an MSU alumni, instructor, and coach of the Michigan State Stock C Equestrian team, and Samantha Childs, a sophomore studying animal science at Michigan State and a first-year member of the equestrian team. So, Taylor, what would you say to someone who is looking to join the equestrian team?
Do it. So definitely I would say consider it. Much like Sam, the reason that I was on the equestrian team when I was an undergrad was just because somebody said something to me. They presented the opportunity. It doesn't matter your skill level prior to being on the team. We actually need riders of every skill level in order to have a successful team. So I would say just come to our informational meeting in the fall, try out for the team, and it may just be your favorite part of your Spartan experience.
So, Samantha, same question. What would you say to someone who's looking to join the equestrian team?
I would say do it. I think it can be intimidating, especially if you've never rode a horse before, like I had, but do it. It is so worthwhile, and they're also supportive in teaching you the information that you need to know, and I have learned so much about riding and equine in general that it has been a worthwhile experience.
So, Taylor, what would you say your favorite memory from your time with the equestrian team would be?
I would say there's been lots of great memories. This is just my first year coaching the team. So my favorite experience thus far was probably taking two of our seniors who qualified for national semifinals. That was in March. We took them to Florida to compete, and they both did a really, really good job, represented Michigan State University beautifully. So I'd have to say traveling to Florida in March was my favorite experience thus far.
Well, you know, in the cold of winter, Michigan to Florida, that sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Samantha, what would you say that your favorite memory would be from your time on the equestrian team?
I'd have to say that this year my favorite memory was our photo day. We went out to Coach Taylor's barn and had a professional photographer there taking headshots of us and different candid photos and group photos, and it just made us feel so special and like true professional athletes the way that the photos were taken. And you know, the whole day had its own shenanigans, and you know, the team had its moments, but it was so much fun.
So, Samantha, like in those regards, what do you think your future looks like with your horsemanship?
I would love to continue riding and showing horses for the rest of my undergrad, and then hopefully down the line owning my own horse and showing and competing with my own horse would be a dream. But you know, life takes its own turns, so we'll see where it takes me, but I've already learned so much and developed the horse bug, as Coach Taylor says.
The horse bug. So Taylor, when did you realize that you had this passion for horses?
So I don't remember a time in my life that horses weren't a big part of it. My parents met through showing horses. I did it my entire youth, and it's really the sort of phase that you don't grow out of. You talk to any horse girl you know, and we all went to school with one of those horse girls. I know we did. So we don't really grow out of this addiction. We just come up with new ways to integrate it into our life. I've been fortunate enough to make it my career, so it's part of my everyday.
Yeah.
You touched on this a little bit earlier, but Taylor, what was your major when you were here at MSU, and like how did that help you evolve to where you are now?
So I got my bachelor's and master's in animal science here right at Michigan State University. I did a lot of work in equine welfare assessment, but I would say the biggest reason that helped me in my career was networking. So I met a lot of wonderful people at Michigan State as well as within the Michigan equine industry, and that's what set me up for success later, is those interactions.
That's a fantastic lesson, honestly, just like being so candid about that. We'll be right back after this short break to hear more about our guests and their experiences with the equestrian team.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, that's it? This water's too polluted. This disease too far along. To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, you value people's differences and are willing to work harder, push farther, and forge true partnerships. Then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Better, faster. Like renewable energy, clean water, Parkinson's disease, and fighting malaria. Things Spartans work on every single day, all without fanfare. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.
We're back in the studio with our guest, Taylor Fabus, an MSU alumni, instructor, and coach of the Michigan State Stock C Equestrian team, and Samantha Childs, a sophomore studying animal science at Michigan State and a first-year member of the Equestrian team. So, Samantha, we touched on it, how this is your first year. What did your parents say when you were telling them that you were joining this team?
It was actually kind of funny. We were out to dinner on a Friday night after me coming home from college, and I told them that I was interested in trying out for the equestrian team. And at first my mom had lots of questions because she grew up a city girl and had no clue about anything I was saying. My dad was ecstatic because he grew up in a small town out here in like Stockbridge area, and he had goats and gooses and lots of farm animals growing up. So he was so excited for me to finally dip into the large animal industry and take a crack at showing horses.
Yeah, absolutely. Taylor, what kind of, final thought, what kind of gear would you need if you wanted to start with this team? Okay,
So in comparison to actually showing your own horse, it is so much less expensive. You require so much less. You really just need to outfit yourself. So boots, hat, show clothes. We did create a closet this year where I got a lot of really nice show clothing donated so that people like Sam, who didn't come from the horse world, didn't have their own stuff, could borrow from our team closet. So that's really all you need. All the tack and equipment that comes with a horse is provided by the show itself.
Wow. All right, do we want to plug it? Is there an Instagram handle or a website, or is there a way to reach out and contact if you want to join this team?
Absolutely. So we're on Facebook, MSU Stock Seat Equestrian Team. We're also on Instagram as well. We were discussing maybe adding a TikTok. So search us up, follow us. Every fall we have our informational meeting and our tryouts, and we welcome people of all skill levels.
I love it. This conversation has been very interesting, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I would like to thank my guest, Taylor Fabus, for being here with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate the invitation. It's been fun to share.
And thank you, Samantha Childs, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Spotlight. Tune in next week for a very, very interesting conversation with the IM Rec Sports Marketing team. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski. Have a great night, East Lansing.
Thanks for watching. Spotlight is a production of MSU Media and Information and was produced and directed entirely by Michigan State University students. Join us next time for more Spotlight.